Coming up on KUJH News, a KU fraternity has been kicked off campus for hazing violations.
Mass Street businesses are closing at an alarming rate.
And students are struggling to find times to meet with their academic advisors for the next school year. Stay tuned. Welcome to KUJH News. We are celebrating William Allen White, our school's namesake. Each year, the foundation selects an outstanding journalist who exemplifies White's ideals of serving the profession and impacting America.
This year's award recipient is Susan Page, Washington Bureau Chief of U.S. Today, who visited our studio earlier this morning.
So our credibility, our reputation, both personally and for the outlets we work for, is this precious, precious resource. And I think that you protect that by doing everything you can to be accurate, to be fair.
KUJH News extends our congratulations. Page will be delivering an address at the Kansas Union today at 3 p.m.
Concerns about ICE has been growing after being spotted several different times across Lawrence. I went to a public forum this weekend where local law enforcement leaders discuss immigration and other public safety issues. Lawrence residents gathered at the Lawrence Public Library as local law enforcement leaders Douglas County Sheriff Jay Armbrister, Lawrence Police Chief Rich Lockhart, and the University of Kansas Chief Zeke Mosley met to answer prepared questions from the NAACP concerning ICE and immigration issues. Lockhart stressed transparency in local policing, drawing a line between them and federal agents operating in Lawrence. Lockhart said at the forum police officers do not cover their faces or use tear gas on peaceful protesters. ICE has been spotted multiple times in Lawrence, with the most recent report of agents detaining individuals on KU's campus.
These are Kansans, and these are the people who do the work, who are showing up every day. They're community members, their moms, their dads, their sisters, brothers. People are scared to go outside of their homes.
Sheriff Armbrister made it clear that his office does not actively participate in federal immigration enforcement. As he said, "I like to tell everybody, we are not the national narrative." All three leaders expressed concerns and oppositions against ICE, but bills being passed in the legislature might not give them an option. House Bill 2372 requires county sheriffs operating jails to comply with ICE detainer request is currently sitting on Governor Laura Kelly's desk awaiting to be approved or vetoed.
It's also the fear mongering that's happening with this legislation. We can have people who are supposedly a part of our community turning against us at any second.
The Sanctuary Alliance of Lawrence has reached out on social media asking the community to reach out to Laura Kelly to veto the bill. But there are over 50 bills waiting to be signed by Governor Laura Kelly, this being one of them. House Bill 2372, talking about ICE and immigration, is still in contention. To find out more information about this, you can check out kansaslegislator.gov to continue on this endeavor.
Hey Aiden, it's nice weather so far this week. Are we going to see more of that?
Clarissa, I've got some good news, bad news. Good news, today it's not going to be looking too bad outside. Bad news, the rest of the week, for at least 7 more days, different story completely. Even looking outside across northeastern Kansas, we've got storms rolling through the area, especially further west in Holton, Junction City. You can see those storms making their way into the area. Still relatively clear up into Pica, some partly cloudy skies. That's kind of what we're going to be seeing overall today. It's not looking too bad out there, but let's take a look. We've got a pretty great afternoon happening. We've got chances of those showers and thunderstorms coming through starting this evening into tomorrow, and those chances aren't really going anywhere, at least over the weekend and at the start of next week. Clarissa, it's going to be looking pretty stormy out there.
Recent business closures along Mass Street has caused quite the commotion amongst community members. KUJH's Emma Nomal visited downtown Lawrence this week for more details.
Jungle House Plant Nursery and Squishington's Candy Store are indefinitely closed, announced abruptly by owners on social media last week. That's what Arizona Trading Company manager Isabel Wills told me about her initial reaction to the closures. And her reaction comes with understanding. The recent closures may not have been as big of a surprise for other business owners downtown, but for certain customers,
honestly, I was just so sad.
they were left stunned.
I love Jungle House. I always take friends there, my family there when they come to visit me here. Now I don't really know where to go.
Now, these are two niche local businesses located right here in downtown Lawrence, and since the announcement of their permanent closures last week, there's been no discourse as to what could take these building spots. Reporting to you in downtown Lawrence, Emma Noble, KUJH News.
Thanks, Emma. If you're interested in supporting local shops, check out the Lawrence Community Calendar. The city regularly posts events happening downtown at explorerlawrence.com.
The University of Kansas Fraternity Alpha Tau Omega, also known as ATO, has been suspended and banned from campus until 2031. KUJH's Adeline Rabel is live in studio with more.
Omega has officially been removed from campus with its student organization status revoked until spring of 2031 due to misconduct. Following hazing allegations reported in the fall of 2024, the fraternity was investigated and placed on probation through 2027. However, that status has now been changed and upgraded to a full removal from campus. According to KU Student Conduct, 3 violations were sanctioned as of March 20th, 2026, but it remains unclear whether this 5-year suspension is connected to a new hazing incident or a failure to comply with the terms of the chapter's probation. A letter from Student Conduct and Community Standards, which has now been made public, outlines multiple hazing reports from 2024, though many details have been redacted. One complaint was filed in September, followed by another in October, describing incidents that took place over several days. After university hearings, multiple members were placed on probation and at least 2 were later expelled from the chapter. The chapter accepted the findings of hazing and personal harm violations and were required to complete educational programming training. Now, the same violations they received in 2024 are the same exact ones being cited in this removal, raising questions around campus whether new incidents have occurred. And as for the future of ATO, members will not be able to recruit, live in the chapter facility, or host events. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Adeline. The fraternity is no longer affiliated with the university in any way, and the house will remain vacant unless another organization purchased the property.
April enrollment season at KU is among us, and students are planning out their class schedules for next semester. KUJH's Zach Newkirk gives us a look at KU's academic advising.
It's officially spring at KU, and that means that it's time for returning students to enroll in classes for next year. Academic advisors are a great tool for students to plan ahead for their schedules, but not every student has the same advising experience. Since KU discontinued the Schedule Builder feature on Enroll and Pay last year, students have found an extra need to meet with their advisors.
I'd say it's definitely quite a bit harder because you can't actually visualize it. You have to write out the exact time frames and have to go to your next class and do the same thing. I'd say the Schedule Builder was definitely a lot easier, but it's still manageable, but easier with an advisor.
While some students prioritize meeting with their advisor to ensure they are planning properly,
but I'm also always stressed that I'm not going to graduate, so I always make appointments really early.
Others have found ways to do it on their own.
I usually email my advisor just to ask her what she thinks versus making appointments.
Some students have had trouble with advising, either struggling to get an appointment or even being able to keep the same advisor.
I've personally struggled with finding a consistent advisor, but I know it fluctuates depending on the advisor themselves.
But luckily, advising has a method of dealing with those problems. Drop-ins.
I think we recognize that students are going to have questions when we may not have specific scheduled times available. And that's what drop-ins are for. So Jayhawk Academic Advising has drop-ins on Mondays and Thursdays.
Drop-ins allow students to show up and meet with an advisor with no scheduled appointment. Whether it's a fully scheduled meeting or just sending an email, talking to an advisor can really benefit students come enrollment season. For KUJH News, I'm Zach Newkirk.
Thanks, Zach. Enrollment for the fall is underway and will continue throughout April. Coming up on KUJH News, route changes and overcrowded buses.
And the transfer portal is causing major panic for basketball coaches across the country. Stay tuned.
KU supports community, creativity, Kansas. The University of Kansas provides statewide medical outreach, first responder training, cybersecurity protection, childhood development support, and economic gains amounting to over $7 billion every year. Every day, Kansas Jayhawks serve the world by creating a better future. The world is safer, healthier, stronger. because of what KU creates.
Welcome back to KUJH News.
Aiden Baugh is back to give us a full look at the weather. Aiden, what can we expect this upcoming week?
Clarissa, today, not looking too bad. Temperature outside right now, 69 degrees. A high today of 79. Going to be warming up a little bit more. Partly cloudy skies expected throughout the day. However, got some bad news. Chances of showers and storms going to be increasing as the evening goes on. Especially we get into that later evening. I know we've got some folks headed out to the K later today. You're probably going to run into some rain delays, I would expect at least. Winds not looking too bad, coming out of the south, about 5 to 15 miles an hour, gusting as high 25 in some areas. Let's throw it out, show you what we can expect tonight. We're looking at our high-resolution rapid refresh model, and this it's predicting we're seeing some spotty showers and storms overnight into tomorrow morning as well. So those showers not expected too much this afternoon, but overnight going to be a completely different story. That's going to bring us down to overnight low, about 53 degrees. Winds still coming out of the south, could get a little bit gusty in those isolated storms, but overall not looking too bad if you're not in those storms as they pass through. We're going to throw it back out into another model. This is called the RRFS. It's a little bit experimental, but I find it's pretty accurate most of the time. Looking ahead at tomorrow into the weekend. That's where we're really seeing showers start to pick up across the area. Starting tonight, tomorrow morning, carrying on all the way through on Friday into Saturday as well. We could see some spotty showers and thunderstorms make their way across the area. Let's take a look at our 7-day forecast. Today, that's not looking too bad, but then the rest of the week, we've got chances of showers and thunderstorms almost each and every single day. A high on Friday, 62 degrees. Sunday, 74. Monday, we're warming up as well to a high of 83 degrees. And those showers and storms are not going anywhere. It's going to be a little bit eventful. Clarissa?
Thanks, Aiden. Fingers crossed that I'm still able to go to the Lawrence Farmers Market this weekend.
No kidding. Many students around KU's campus are involved in sports, clubs, and jobs that allow them to miss class on a daily basis. KUJH's Gabriel Steigers met with a couple of them to understand student life on the road.
Whether it's sports, ROTC, internships, or numerous other activities, some students are forced to miss days worth of class each semester. 74% of students at KU are undergraduates. To be considered a full-time student, you must be enrolled in at least 12 credit hours. That's 12 hours of work outside the classroom per week. Most students, though, take much more than that, according to the KU Student Life Survey from last year.
10 to 12-hour bus rides, no internet, so you're not really able to do any homework while traveling, and it takes your entire day. So that's sort of a burden on the student-athlete experience.
Missing class can contribute to lower grades. For university sports, they have access to tutoring resources, but for other involvements, they aren't so lucky.
Yeah, I'm currently doing a pharmaceutical internship that causes me to miss 5 to 8 hours of class a week.
Online classes can be a good choice, but for students with more hands-on majors, they're just not an option.
Online classes help a lot with missing classes because I can just work on the work whenever I want. It's asynchronous.
Work-study classes like Liberal Arts and Sciences 490 allow students to take up to 5 credits with minimal workload and maximum flexibility.
It's still difficult to have a full day of travel and then on top of that have to do makeup assignments and make sure you're staying on top of emailing your professors and all of that.
Still, for some students, the issue persists. Are you willing to sacrifice time in the classroom for what you're chasing? For KUJH News, I'm Gabriel Steigers.
Thanks, Gabriel. One option is JMC 500, a work-study course that allows J-School students to use their journalism internship to fill 3 hours of a semester.
Students are reporting that getting on a campus bus has become much more difficult. Merritt Mitchell joins us live to explain more.
That's right, Clarissa. I'm here at a bus stop on campus where timeliness and bus inconsistency has become a cause for concern.
At the University of Kansas, students use the buses as the main way to get around the hilly campus. During class hours, the buses have been too full to board. Students are reporting that the overcrowded buses are making it difficult to get to class on time.
Yeah, they have been really crowded and they show up late a lot of the time, I feel like, and I've missed a couple classes because they show up late.
Students say that the overcrowding happens during popular class times and it increases the challenge to get across campus in time for their upcoming class. With the extreme and unknown weather in Kansas, it is important for everyone to have access to riding the bus.
Just like on colder days, you kind of just gotta suck it up and like stand there and like be squished with everyone.
There are 2 main bus routes around campus and each circulate every 5 to 12 minutes. Students say that the frequency is not enough to keep up with the demand during school hours.
At certain times of the day, yeah, they seem more crowded. Sometimes I have trouble getting on the bus to make it back to the dorms.
Students living on Daisy Hill say catching a bus can be a bigger challenge, as large numbers of students are trying to board the same buses at once, often leaving them full before everyone can get on. Until changes are made, students say they will find other ways to make it to class on time. For KUJH News, I'm Merritt Mitchell.
When reaching out to KU Transportation, KUJH received limited response. Reporting live on Jayhawk Boulevard, I'm Merritt Mitchell.
Thanks, Merritt. With spring temperatures continuing to rise, walking to class has become a more realistic alternative.
That's right, Clarissa. Spring is back in full swing. That first hot day might have you reaching for the thermostat, but before you crank that AC, there's a few things you'll want to check first. KUJH's Donovan Bullens has more from local HVAC experts.
Summer-like heat arrived early yesterday, with temperatures soaring into the mid-90s. And for many across northeast Kansas, that first blast of cool air can't come soon enough. But experts say, hold off just a moment. A quick check now could save you time, money, and a sweaty breakdown later on.
We want to make sure the outdoor air conditioner is clean. It has to breathe. I recommend doing that June, July, and August, maybe even now. Clean it before you turn the air conditioner on. If you have a humidifier, make sure the humidifier is turned off. We don't want any more humidity in the air.
That means clearing out debris, checking your system, and making sure everything is ready to handle the heat. But if your unit has seen better days, now's the time to act.
You want to do it before it gets really hot because all the air conditioning companies in Topeka will get very, very busy.
A little prep work now can go a long way when the real heat sets in. Experts also recommend changing your air filter and scheduling a tune-up so your home stays cool when you need it most. Working for you in Northeast Kansas, I'm Donovan Bullens.
Thanks, Donovan. We'll be sure to keep cool before that heat hits.
When we come back, Eli Greenwald will be here to give us the latest on KU softball and baseball as they continue their way through postseason play.
You may not hear it at first, but it's there. Our chant, rising. On this summit, callings converge, voices unify into a chorus that sounds out for good, for greatness. Can you hear it?
Welcome back to KUJH Sports. I'm Eli Greenwald here with the latest on KU Sports and beyond. Breaking news, Samiz Calderon has just entered the transfer portal after only 1 year at KU and just averaging 0.4 points per game. The Jayhawks are left with just Cole Rosario on their returning roster. With the NCAA tournament over, it's still not out of the headlines after Yahoo Sports reported that the tournament is considering expanding the field from 68 to 76 teams, which pushes the first 4 to the first 12, featuring 24 teams playing 12 games in the opening round. Moving to the diamond, the MLB season is in full swing and already making headlines with hits in and out of the batter's box. Tuesday, Jorge Soler and Ronaldo Lopez got into a benches clearing brawl after Lopez threw at Soler on back-to-back pitches. Both Lopez and Soler were ejected from the game and received 7 suspensions and some bruises. Lastly, the Jayhawks are looking to rebuild on both the men's and women's side of the basketball court. KUJH's Zach Newkirk will give us all the info a little later. You can't mention sports in April without talking about the Masters. The tournament kicked off earlier today, and KUJH's Annika Gustafson has a preview and a live update on all that's going on at Augusta National.
Yes, Eli, spring has definitely sprung as the first round of the Masters teed off earlier this morning. Golf's most iconic tradition is back in full swing, as the Masters tournament is officially underway at Augusta National. The best players in the world have gathered together once again, all after the legendary green jacket, in a tournament that's just as much about history and precision as it is about performance. From the pristine fairways to the lightning-fast greens, Augusta always demands perfection. And early on, we're already seeing who's rising to the challenge. And while it's still early, let's see how the leaderboard is looking right now. Patrick Reed sits on top at 5 under through 9 holes, putting together a strong first round. Just behind, Tommy Fleetwood is at 4 under after picking up a birdie, keeping things tight at the top. There's already plenty of movement across the board, with several players hovering near the lead as the opening round gets going. World-ranked number 1 Scottie Scheffler is set to tee off later this afternoon as he begins his quest for another green jacket. And Rory McIlroy is back in the field as the defending champion, looking to make back-to-back at Augusta. And to shine a light on one of our own, Gary Woodland, the KU alum, comes into Augusta after an emotional victory at the Texas Children's Open last week. After questioning if he'd ever play again, he fought his way back and made his return to the game even more powerful. Woodland will be playing with Scheffler later today. And with so many big names still to hit the course, it's shaping up to be an exciting start at Augusta. Back to you, Eli.
Thanks, Annika. And how about that shot from Rory? The tournament continues throughout the next 3 days with the presentation of the coveted green jacket on Sunday. The Jayhawks are heating up at just the right time. After a statement win on the road, Kansas baseball is riding a wave of momentum into a huge Big 12 matchup this weekend against UCF. KUJH's Emma Hale brings down what's fueling the hot streak and the challenge that's coming next.
Kansas baseball is off to an impressive start this season, and after taking down a number 19 Nebraska on the road Tuesday night, the buzz around the team is only growing. The Jayhawks have now won 7 straight in 13 of their last 15 games, with 17 comeback wins, showing just how resilient this group has been. A big part of that success is junior shortstop Tyson LeBlanc, who swept multiple National Player of the Week honors after his dominant performance last week.
It's hard work paying off, but at the end of the day, it's a new week. Those accolades were last week's accomplishments, so this week's a big week ahead. So.
And that next test won't be easy. Head coach Dan Fitzgerald knows his team will be challenged as first place UCF comes to Lawrence for a 3-game series.
UCF does a really nice job with their staff, but they're really good offensively. They can defend, they can run, they're really well coached.
With Kansas sitting right behind UCF in the Big 12 standings, this weekend could have some major conference implications. Reporting for KUJH Sports, I'm Emma Hale.
Thanks, Emma. First pitch between the Jayhawks and the Knights is set for Friday night at Hoagland Ballpark. Switching to college hoops, the NCAA transfer portal for both the men and women has opened up, and it has been an eventful week in the portal for the Jayhawks, to say the least. KUJH's Zach Newkirk has the scoop.
The college basketball transfer portal just opened officially earlier this week, and unfortunately for KU, multiple players on both the men's and women's team have already entered it. The portal has major implications for next year's rosters, so let's take a look at what Jayhawks have intentions of leaving the program and who we can maybe expect to transfer in. Starting off with the men's team, other than Sammy's Calderon, 5 players have entered their names into the portal before today, despite Bill Self announcing his return. The first to enter was Bryson Tiller. The forward from Atlanta was a freshman this past year, eventually earning a starting role. He had a solid year, averaging 7.9 points per game, with a season high of 21 in the college game day matchup against BYU at Allen Fieldhouse. Tiller's aggression and agility in the paint will be missed next year. Another big transfer portal entry was Flory Badunga. Badunga was a sophomore this year and transitioned from a solid rotational player to a key starter and one of the best defensive players in the country, even winning Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year. Flory averaged 13.3 points per game and was a fan favorite, so it will be sad to see him go. Other Jayhawks who entered the portal include junior guards Elmarco Jackson and Jamari McDowell, who have each been with the team for 3 years, redshirting their sophomore years, and freshman big Paul Mbia, who didn't see the court much this year but got some solid minutes during the tournament. As of right now, the only Jayhawks returning will be Cole Rosario and Corbin Allen. For the women's team, 2 players have already entered the portal: Keely Parks, a freshman guard who averaged 5.1 points per game, and Laia Canessa, a junior guard who's been at Kansas since her freshman year and was averaging 3.7 points per game. These guards will be missed, but the Lady Jayhawks will hope to make transfer portal adds as well and keep the rest of the returners. As far as who the men's team might be targeting in the portal, some names have been thrown out as players Coach Self is expected to go after, such as Sam Tosirel, a center from Georgia, JP Estrella, a forward from Tennessee, Zoom Diallo, a guard from Washington, and Isaiah Johnson, a guard from Colorado. Make sure to stay tuned to KUJH as more portal updates come out. Eli, who should the KU teams pick up this offseason in the portal?
Thanks, Zach. Personally, I would love to see Santos Sorrell from Georgia in a jock uniform to replace Flory as the team's big man. Coming up on KUJH News, Aiden Baugh is back with one more look at the weather, and Sarah Lassick has an inside look at influencers here at KU. Stay tuned.
For students searching for a way to stay active in an outdoorsy way, the City of Lawrence has bike trails running in every direction, and with the new bike share program, we can stay in shape as we tour the sights of our beautiful city. Clinton Lake is only a short 30-minute bike ride away from Daisy Hill and has the most incredible sunset location in all of Lawrence. Walking campus may give you the KU calves, but biking can give you the KU thighs. Bike Lawrence today.
Welcome back to KUJH News.
Weather forecaster Aiden Baugh is back with us one final time to let us know what to expect in the upcoming week.
Ben, I wish I had better news. For baseball this weekend here at Hoagland, not looking too good out there. Plenty of showers and thunderstorms almost every single day this weekend. Game temperatures warming up a little bit, at least on Saturday, a high of 74 degrees. Winds coming out of the east today, or tomorrow, my apologies. We're shifting to the south as well over the weekend. Temperatures not looking that good, and chances of showers are on the rise, Clarissa. It's going to be a stormy and rainy weekend.
Well, keep your eye on the forecast, especially if you're going to the game.
Social media influencers have become a major part of today's culture, shaping trends, building communities, and launching careers. Reporter Sarah Lassick shows us how some KU students are building their own platforms.
This is from fashion to food reviews to get ready with me's. Influencers have taken over social media, turning everyday moments into content. Here at KU, some students are doing just that. Senior journalism student Sydney Winsek, known for her casual, relatable style, started posting in high school, sharing outfit videos and everyday moments that quickly caught on, even getting her recognized on campus.
Wow, look at the detail. Oh my god, I never know what to say. It's like, oh my god, I watch you on TikTok. I go, thank you. Thanks. Thank you. I don't know. It's so awkward.
Now, her content ranges from fashion and lifestyle to viral product reviews, helping her grow a following and open doors beyond social media.
And bear with me when I say this.
And I think TikTok can be used for leverage for things like that, obviously, where it's like you already have a following, so you're a step ahead for like any other like ventures you want to do.
As for junior UI/UX student Nathan Whittick, his content blends humor, lifestyle, and glimpses into his life as a KU student. But beyond the content, there's also pressure.
I think the balance overall of social media is very, very important for mental health reasons. I think that if you're consuming too much or if you are posting too much, it can hinder academic performance.
Even with the challenges, Whittick says sharing his life online has given him something unexpected.
So overrated. What are we going to do this?
Being able to look back at yourself and see how far you've come and see kind of how you've grown as a person is super, super valuable.
For KUJH News, I'm Sarah Lassick.
Thanks, Sarah. With social media constantly evolving, student influencers like Winsek and Wintuck are finding new ways to turn their creativity into opportunity.
At Lawrence, tradition is hitting a major milestone this weekend. The Lawrence Farmers Market is celebrating 50 years. KUJH's Annika Gustafson joins us from the site ahead of Saturday's opening.
Thanks, Clarissa. Yes, as you can see behind me here, it may just look like a regular parking lot today, but come this Saturday marks 50 years of the Lawrence Farmers Market, a beloved community tradition for over half a century. This weekend, vendors and visitors will fill the space once again for opening day, bringing fresh produce, handmade goods, and local flavor to Lawrence. Over the past 5 decades, the market has grown into a staple for both local producers and residents, supporting small businesses and connecting the community.
Our customers are dedicated to us and they appreciate what we do and they support us. These vendors are not just partners in collaboration. These are friends. We support one another.
For many vendors, it's more than just selling. Wild Blooms and Bakes make sure their baked goods cater to the needs of the Lawrence community, including gluten-free and dairy-free products.
There's a huge celiac population in Lawrence. Started with one item. By the end of the season, I offered 5 or 6 different gluten-free, dairy-free, or gluten-free vegan items. They're the most popular.
The market opens this Saturday morning, 7:30 to 11:30 a.m. at 8th and New Hampshire, and will run weekly throughout the season. Reporting for KUJH News, I'm Annika Gustafson.
Thanks, Annika. It sounds like a great way to spend your Saturday morning. You can find more information at www.lawrencefarmersmarket.org.
Well, that's all we have for you this morning. Check out KUJH on TikTok and Instagram for exclusive content and keep up to date on the latest news at KUJHnews.com. I'm Ben Nash.
And I'm Clarissa Rodriguez. KUJH will be back next Thursday at 11:30 a.m. Have a good rest of your week.